100-year charter.
Isn't it fortuitous that we are a year and a half, 2 years away from the 100-year charter of the Federal Reserve coming up? 100 years of you scumbag bankers having a financial dictatorship is 100 years too long. And yes, we must press in Congress for no new charter of the Federal Reserve. It's going to be gone regardless in a year and a half if we just simply let it fade into history and educate the public about monetary policies, transfer the power back to Congress, and write off the tens of trillions of dollars. Hey, notice Chase, reportedly the biggest shareholder in the private Federal Reserve, is right next door to keep tabs on their fraudulent, fake federal agency. And who was it that pointed out to me that they got a sign saying private property, keep off? Show me that. I want to see that.
Right here, Alex. Right here,
I want to show my camera people that. I'm going to go over here. Yeah, private property.
First thing I noticed when I got here.
Private property, no trespassing. Again, I thought it says federal, Richard. Look, it says right there, Federal Reserve.
It's obvious.
Like Federal Plumbing or Federal Express or Federal Ammunition or
Federal Pizza.
Federal Extermination or Federal cheesesteak, whatever. I can say Federal Alex Jones, Federal Mickey Mouse. It's total bull, total fraud, and the minute people are aware of it, it's over for you. Look at this. Private property, no trespassing.
Expel the money changers.
By the way, how many of you notice when you write a check to the IRS, you write it to the Federal Reserve? You write it to the private property of Lord Rothschild and David Rockefeller and the Queen of England and that poor Queen of the Netherlands and all the rest of them. What a joke! Of course you called yourselves federal. For 90 plus years you got away with the fraud that you're federal, but it's over, dirtbags, just like Madoff.
Thanks for making it obvious.
Think about it. When Bernie Madoff finally went to prison, he said, look, the Federal Reserve's private. The whole thing's a Ponzi scheme. I mean, he started the NASDAQ. Come on. That's what's going to happen to these crooks.
Turn around, Alex.
That's what's going to happen to these people. In fact, look, you got all these police officers out here tonight in this beautiful weather, here protecting our First Amendment. And I wonder how many of these police officers can read on the sign, Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, federal, but right here it says private property.
Private!
Does that sound like fraud to you? Private property, Federal Reserve? Can't you investigate it? There's the criminals right there.
Yeah!
We didn't have these people, so the cops did. We didn't have these people. Officers, I have a question for you. You're here guarding the private offshore Rothschild Bank, the Federal Reserve, from evil Americans.
What?
Evil Americans. I know you get the Homeland Security report saying those who don't like the Federal Reserve are evil. I've read the Homeland Security reports and they tell cops the Federal Reserve is federal and that we're raving lunatics. Really, their charter is private. Right there. Private property, no trespassing, Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. It doesn't say federal zone, federal property, stay off slaves. It says private property, no trespassing, Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas.
Private!
You want to wonder why your dollar doesn't buy as much as it used to? You want to wonder why your taxes are going up? You want to wonder why all this is happening and why you got to give money to grandma because she can't pay her taxes? She can't. Because
gonna take
these
your pension!
people are sucking everything out of America.
You don't have a pension!
We gave tens of trillions of dollars to the private Federal Reserve in bailout money. And what do we get for it? A depression! And we get to be told we got to pay higher taxes on the bailout money we gave these con artist criminals! All these people are is con artist magicians that somehow convinced us that they control the issuance of currency and credit and that they're our boss. And every day I read about people getting killed for $10 or $20, made up out of nothing by these magicians that get the whole world for nothing out of total fraud. And they got the nerve to send the cops out here and tell them, you gotta go protect the federal building. That's private property, no trespassing.
Come protect my house!
There is no end to their fraud. All right, I'm gonna turn this over for a few minutes to others and I'll be back.
Love you, Alex.